Good morning, Morai Rabotai. Be'ez Hashem, Mincha is going to be 7:40 for the rest of this week. Please be on time. The halacha that we were discussing a few weeks ago, well, just to refresh everybody's memory, we were talking about a case where a goy bakes bread as the language of the Shulchan Aruch for himself. And he bakes it on Shabbat. Can a Jew come and purchase it on Shabbat? And Shulchan Aruch brings down two opinions. He says, Yesh matirim v'yesh osrim. There are those that permit and those that prohibit. The ones that permit sounds reasonable because the goy didn't make it for the Jew. He made it for himself. What's the reason behind those that prohibit? So he said there were two different possibilities. One is because bread, it comes from flour, and flour is muktzeh. And since the flour was there on the beginning of Shabbat is muktzeh, it doesn't lose its status of muktzeh in the middle of the Shabbat. Or perhaps a second explanation is because the goy made it for himself. Food, when it comes to matters of food, we're more particular that the next time around he'll end up making it for the Jew. And therefore there's two positions. The Shulchan Aruch says really one should be strict. However, in cases of dahak, in cases of great need, like he has no other bread, he can go ahead and he could buy it for the Seudat Shabbat or for a Seudat Mitzvah as an example. The Shulchan Aruch is lenient. All of this is true. Biur Halacha writes an important detail. He says that when the Shulchan Aruch uses the language of le'atzmo, he purchased it he made it for himself, he baked it for himself, it doesn't mean literally. Because a goy that makes bread for himself, the halacha is that it's called pat akum, and nobody is allowed to buy. It's called pat balabait, bread of a homeowner, of a person who makes it for himself, his own family. A Jew is not allowed to purchase it. What kind of bread are the poskim, the authorities, lenient to buy? Bread that is made to be sold. So when Shulchan Aruch wrote, he did it for himself, what he means to say for his own purposes, but he was planning to sell it to other goyim. And therefore it's called pat palta. Any commercial bread that is made in order to be sold, one is allowed to purchase even from a goy. Of course, this halacha only really applies if all the ingredients are kasher. If you're buying from a goy in some place and you have no idea what the ingredients are, and you ask him and he says, well, it's only water and flour, you can't trust him. You don't know. You have to see what are all the ingredients. So obviously today it's going to need a reliable kashrut. The Shulchan Aruch's time, everything was very basic. No one would add anything into the bread. Everybody would make the bread the same way. In today's time, they add things that are not kasher left and right. And therefore, it's a major problem. Obviously, you would not be able to buy bread from a goy if it didn't have a hechsher. So those two concerns always need to be addressed. The pat palta concern, you should know though, Ovadia, just parenthetically, did have a basis. In a case where you absolutely have no bread, he says even pat balabait you can have. So the severity of it is where you can get other bread, or you could skip a meal. But if you have no other choice, and literally you have nothing else, and this is the only thing in town, so you could buy pat balabait, although the kashrut is still going to be a major issue, because it has to be 100% kasher, and it has to be verified by an organization, by Jews, that it is kasher. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen.